let's take a look at how exercise 6 was built, or our exercise project was built. So the first thing we do, like always, is declare our PHP tags because we're going to be using PHP code. I wrote a note here saying declare a class called A. We define our class and it's going to be called A. And next, within the class, we want to declare our attributes for class A. Again, class A is our parent class. So we went ahead and declared two attributes called attribute 01 underscore from class A and attribute 2 from class A as well, with different assigned values. Now, if you look at the access modifier that I used is protected. And the reason why I use protected, because remember, by definition, protected means that we can use a property or an attribute or method within a child class. Now, again, with protected, you can use these features within a child class. They can be inherited, but they can't be called outside of the parent class as well. So again, it's kind of in the middle. It can be inherited by the child class that calls it, but you can't use these features outside of its class, of the parent class. I went ahead and for our next steps, we use functions or methods. So we declare our function or method and you call it get attribute from class A. So again, with this function, all it does, it gets the values from our attributes within our parent class, which is class A. Within our method, we just want to display these values from these attributes of class A. So we just use echo statements to display this information to our HTML page. So we're done with our parent class A. We use our child class, which inherits these two attributes from our parent class. So we don't need to do anything from that. And I wrote a comment here saying inherit public and protected features from class A. So again, we want to declare our class B child class and use extends, the keyword extends, and then we're going to be inheriting from class A. So class B inherits from class A. From here, we normally would override attributes, but for good inheritance practice, we're not going to use overriding right now because we just want to apply new features in our child class. Here we use two new child class attributes, which is attribute 1 for class B. And pretty much I did the same thing, but just named them differently. So it's these are attributes from class B. And of course it has different values. So attribute from class B, attribute 2 from class B. So next we want to declare our functions, our get function. So we use get attribute values from class B. And remember, these are retrieving the values from our class B directly, which we have here, our attributes. We use our echo statements to display this information, so called attributes from class B. So again, we use our this special pointer to reference our current object attributes from this class, which is just pretty much accessing our attributes within our class, which is attribute 1 and attribute 2 from class B. And we're going to display the values here in our HTML page with our echo statements. So if we look at our second method, we have get attribute values from parent class. So now with this method, the only thing we do is we want to make an additional call to call the original method from our class A. So again, if we look at line 45, we are using a method from class A, not from class B. So we use our keyword parent because we're referencing something from our parent class, and we use the double semicolons as well, and then we just use our parent class method, which is get attribute values from class A, and it's going to display the attribute values within class A. And again, I used my H3 heading tags for HTML. And pretty much once we're done with class B, so I'll just write end of class B. And then we want to write our object. So pretty much since class B inherits everything from class A, or all the public and protected features from class A, we can just declare an object of class B. And then here I just want you guys to display the title here as well using an echo statement, and then display the attribute values from class B, which here we inherited it. So get attribute values from class B. This is a method within our class B. And then for our inherited class A, we can call our get attribute values from parent class, and within that method we can make an additional call to our parent class, which is get attribute values from class A, and it's going to display the values from our parent class attributes. So that's pretty much it for you guys, how to build up your exercise project 6.